Oh boy, I can't wait to play this game. Wow, so many class options. This is so cool. Which one will help out my team the most? Ah, the Infiltrator. They look the coolest too. Oh yeah, my team is getting so much information. I'm practically carrying the entire Vanu Sovereignty. Oh, but my score per minute is so high. I bet it would be even higher if I was sitting in my own team's spawn room defending the base from invaders.
How's it going, you sexy beast? Welcome back to another fantastic Friday where we bring you the most badass web series ever. At least the best series on this particular YouTube channel. Woohoo! It's another fan-picked Friday challenge. I want to go ahead and apologize in advance for how this video turns out. I am progressively getting sicker by the minute and hope that by the end of this video, I'm not entirely dead. But before then, let's get down to business. This is the series where you, das viewer, can suggest any type of loadout for me to run within PlanetSide 2 and see just how terribly I get destroyed to the point where I want to cry. Last week's episode was the Comrade by L. Johnson, which featured the T9 Carve S for the Terran Republic. If you wish to make a suggestion for next week's episode, go ahead and leave a comment in the section below, and I'll choose one of the most top voted comments to use in next week's fan-picked Friday challenge. So today's challenge comes from Hgfgjff, which I'll just call Hgfgjff. They call this loadout the Useless Infiltrator. Faction, Vanu Sovereignty. Class, Infiltrator. Primary, Eridani SX5 with 4x scope, Compensator, and flashlight. Secondary, Hunter QCX with 4x scope, explosive bolts, and flashlight as well. Tool, Motion Spotter. Ability, Nano-Armor Cloaking. Suit, Nanoweave Armor, and Grenade Decoy. Utility, DOS Restoration Kit. Thank you so very much for your challenge, Mr. Hgfgjff. And I'll be the first to say, holy shit, I hate your damn challenge, Hgfgjff. Typically, whenever I run with one of these loadouts, there's some kind of redeeming factor that will allow me to exploit my enemies in order to be a fighting force in the battlefield. But holy shit, you've somehow combined every bit and piece of the game into something that I just couldn't work with. Bravo, good sir. Typically, people want me to use the Gauss-Saw X with a 6x scope or maybe use a rocket launcher as a primary, but I think this is the most difficult one I've ever received. I think my average KDR was about a 2.0, which made me excited to go on kill streaks of 3 or 4 enemies, which would usually exhaust my entire ammunition pool. But enough of me, onto the Eridani itself. This is the first generation submachine gun, which are typically inferior to their second generation counterparts. It deals 143 damage per shot up to 10 meters and falls off to 91 damage out at 40 meters. It fires at 750 rounds per minute, has a 25 round magazine and another 175 in the reserve. Its short reload speed is 1.74 seconds and a long reload speed of 2.86 seconds. Vertical recoil is a very low 0.2 degrees per shot, whereas the horizontal recoil will more than likely rip apart your freaking hands at 0.3 degrees left or 0.4 degrees right per shot. This is further magnified by the 4x scope we have as well. Lastly, muzzle velocity is a pretty poor 360 meters per second. I'm pretty sure you can throw a frisbee faster than that if you tried hard enough. If you're wanting to run a first generation SMG as NC or TR, you'll be wanting to pick up the AF4 Cyclone or the SMG 46 Armistice, respectively. As this loadout's name suggests, I was probably the most useful infiltrator ever. If I engaged any enemy past slapping distance, I would have to expunge nearly my entire magazine just to make sure that they died to death. Typically, I would start off aiming down sights, realize that the horizontal recoil was giving me Parkinson's, and then try to hip fire, which with my weapon having a compensator was like trying to hit the broadside of a barn while blindfolded and looking the exact opposite direction. Needless to say, it was nigh impossible to kill anything worth a damn. On the plus side, it was really easy for enemies to spot me as I was typically just flashing them like a gentleman beforehand. No, not with my brick of C4, with my Darklight, you nasty pervert. Anyway, running with the SMG, especially without extended magazines, was just like putting my feet to the fire. Whenever I met toe-to-toe with the heavy assault, I would have to pour my entire magazine into their chest in order to shoot through their double health advantage they had over me. It really was not fun trying to do so. My absolute least favorite moments were when I was able to get behind enemy lines. If I was actually able to do so, I would drool at the mouth if I was playing a heavy assault. Instead, with that crap 25 round magazine, I would maybe kill 2 guys before getting utterly ripped apart by every enemy in a 150 meter radius from my compensator, putting a big "fuck this guy up" sign above my head. I especially loved when I ran out of ammunition in the middle of the fight. I would whip out my crossbow as a fallback weapon and quickly realize that I was whipping out a crossbow and that it had explosive bolts. In those very often scenarios, I would just lay down my weapon and cry as I was hailed with many, many bullets.